Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, all. How we doing? No, not already. Roxy, wow. At least it works, though. Well, hi. Shogun, how are you? Welcome in. What's up, Goth? Lovely, hello. SMH. What's up, Kels? Roxy, ew, stab. What's up, Tika? Up in here to ruin the cozy vibes. How dare you? How dare. Break, that's what she does. She just waits like a snake, and then she just jumps at you. I'm doing well. Been chilling today with the kiddos. Wife is off hanging out with some friends, so we be chilling. What's up, Nina? Welcome in. All right, we're good. Hello, friends. Hello. How's everybody's weekend been going? It's 3 a.m. for you? Oh, my God. There we go. There we go. Turn it down a little bit. Hey, what's up, Jay? Hokey, hello. Hi, Mayor. Monday morning for you. Nice. Nice. Yeah, my Sunday streams are probably not the best streams for you. I guess it depends if you're a night owl or if you're more of a morning person. Woke up a little bit ago. Man, how nice would that be? Redwater, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Good weekend. Awesome. Night owl easily. There you go. I was up till like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like ridiculously late, but up late last night playing golf with friends with Mare and Vin and Dread and some peeps. Slept in again today, but to be fair, I went to bed super late like always. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. I mean, I still wake up early, but the intention is to be up early. The only one you can catch, I know. Yeah, it's just the way that it works out. During the week, I work. I have a day job. So I have a day job / the time I get to spend with the fam. So the stream times are literally when everybody's gone to bed. So it works out the best. Yep. Not a full-time content creator. Can't stream during the day. Can't do it. Sundays I sleep in until I get the, hey, I'm your wake-up call. Let's go. Sinister, I'll take it. Lame? I know. Maybe one of these days, Alice. One of these days. Slagathor, hello. How are you? Hi, Crow. Can only catch a Sunday as well. Well, I mean, that's the best part about having all these different avenues of like VODs and having different random streams here or there during the day when it's possible. It's nice because, you know, there's opportunities to see the different stuff. Roxy. Doing good, Crow. How are you? Sam, thank you for the 14 months. Appreciate you. Our Yoshi stuff is now gone. 'Tis gone. How many sub goals have we reached? Do I have that on the screen? I think I do. Hold on. It's going to be on my face, but anyway. Oh, no, it's right there. It's fine. So we have reached 2 so far. We have reached we've done the merch and we've done the disgusting ass soda. So the next will be another Playing with Viewers Day. So if you missed Friday's viewer day, when we reach that goal, there's another viewer day happening. And that won't be that far after reaching the goal. If it's possible to do the next stream, we'll do it the next stream. It just all depends what's going on. Time. Hello, Mr. Time. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. How's everything been going? How have the lethals been going? Watching the last stream since I missed it. I got you. Gaga. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the 2 months. How are you, friendo? Sim, thank you for the 19. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hi, Courtney. Today, we are going to Prestige. I don't know if I want to do it right away. I got to decide if I want to do it immediately or if I want to do a couple games in between. Can you do a viewer day on a Sunday? I think that would actually be the plan. Yeah. Since this last one was during the week, like during the work week, and really, really, really late for some people, that the next one would be on a Sunday. So yeah. Gaga. I'm a stress ball. Moving sucks. Oh. Taking it easy today, though. Dude, moving is hard. Moving is so tough. I've moved a lot in my life. I know what that's like. But I hope that it's not super stressful. Sam, thank you for naming Stream King. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And Jamie, thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate you. Did you complete the all difficulty tier 1? No. I have to do it again. Still looking for a place. So we'll see how it goes. All best of luck, friend. I hope the best for you. Good things will come. Good things will come. Cryptic, hello. Welcome in. Prestige, I know. So I'm trying to like time, no pun intended, trying to time this out, because if I prestige today, I thought maybe what I could do is I could prestige, and then after we prestige, do the tier 1 challenge. Now, to do that, I would need to unlock all of the tier 1 equipment, which we could do some no evidence, no sanity runs and get our level up to that point. But I don't know if I want to do that today or not. I'm not sold. Yeah. Mammoth Man, hello. And Drib, thank you for the tier 1. Oh my goodness gracious. Welcome. Got gifted last stream. Well, congrats, friend. Welcome in. Enjoy the emotes, the no ads, all the things. We always say, I always recommend Twitch Turbo for no ads, sub for support. Turbo, no ads, sub for support. Turbo, you get no ads across the entire platform. That's, I live by that. I live by that. Have I heard of Lockdown Protocol? Oh, I've heard of Lockdown Protocol. Oh, we've played Lockdown Protocol. Oh, we've played. Devil's Daughter, thank you for the 8 months. Hello. Thank you so much, friend. Gotta wait till Phasmo comes out on console so I can play with my friend instead of playing solos. I gotcha. And Turbo does help streamers. It does. So when ads are playing, if somebody has Turbo, they're still being counted for that. Yeah, they absolutely are. Wait, I can't even see who did that. Wait. Tika! I'm still trying to use these different like activity and chat feeds, so it's really strange when it pops up, but now I see it. Tika! Missed you play. Wait, missed me play. Oh, I have a video on it. If you go to the tubes, I have a video. I technically played it yesterday. Yeah, Midnight Society played Lockdown Protocol yesterday. Yeah, played a bunch of games. Tika. Thank you for the subs, friend. Oh my goodness. And we're a step closer to the next goal. Sinister, thank you for the bits. But yeah, so we are 100% prestiging today. I just need to decide if I want to do that immediately or try and do a couple of games before that. And then after we prestige, and we are all the way back at level 1, trying to decide if I want to do the all difficulty today or try to do the all difficulty today. I don't know. It takes a hot minute, man. Stab, thank you for the biddies. Welcome in. I don't know. I'm torn. I might do it because it is a really, like Tom has said, because Tom is the creator of that idea, that challenge. It is fun. The challenge, being on edge, knowing that at any minute your run could end. It's stressful, but it's still fun. It really is. Nightwolf, thank you for the bits. So I think we're definitely prestiging. I think we're going to do that today. Do 10-12 because it's fun. I'll do 10-12 to get me up to all of my tier 1 stuff. Because when we prestige, I'm not going to have smudges and crucifixes and things. And I can't do the challenge until we have it. So we need to floor it to get to the level. And then once we do that and we're doing these perfect runs, that's more levels that we'll get. Even though we're using tier 1 stuff anyway, it's a win-win. Definitely do a thank you for your services tier 3, something you wouldn't do with tier 1 gear like prison. Oh, you mean a run? Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Hi, Cap. Sinister, thank you for the 500 bits. Jesus. What's up, Doug? All right, let me get Phasmo open so we can get rolling. Yeah? Don't really know how to play it. Just end up stabbing it. Tank, when you start to understand the game and you start to understand the tasks, it makes both sides better. Because not only will you be better as an employee and being able to actually finish tasks, you're better as a dissident where you can sabotage because you know what they need. So if someone is doing Pazushi and you know that they need a certain plant, okay, I'll go get it. You never return. Or like, I'm looking for a canister, but I can't find it. A container. And what you do, I'll tell you what you do. You take the containers and hide them. It's not just about running around and stabbing. There's so much more you can do to sabotage the game. Yeah. What's the difference between a Moroi and a Thay for no evidence, no sanity? The Thay can't speed up with line of sight, but the Moroi can. The Thay will be a touch faster than the Moroi when it first hunts. Yeah. No line of sight. Exactly. Yep. Indeed. Indeed. Indubitably. Yes, quite. Yeah, you're welcome. We'll definitely do some of those runs today. They're also a bit slower than Moroi, right? No, they get slower. The Thay slows down when you age it. And the way you age a Thay is by being near it for 1 to 2 minutes. And it can age 10 times. The Moroi is slow based on your sanity. So if it's a 0 sanity, 0 evidence run, then the Moroi will never get slower. It will only get faster. So it'll speed up as it gets line of sight. The Thay, as you spend time near it, over time, it will slow down. Michaela, hello. Is the Moroi at 0 sanity faster than the Rev? When the Rev has line of sight? No, the Rev is faster. The Rev is faster. Oh, by a long shot. Yeah, I don't know the exact timing on that, but they're definitely faster. For sure. Hi, Peggy. Heard hype train. Oh, friend, I appreciate you. Thank you for the biddies. How are you? Good to see you. It's weird. Some of the messages are delayed. I'm trying to like keep up with them. Dawn, thank you for the 2 months. Hello, Meggers. Hi, Meggers. Thank you for the sub, friend. So good to see you. Usually mix them up. Dude, there's a lot to remember in this damn game. There's a lot. Peggy, I hope you're having a good weekend. Langers, hello. Yeah, it's extremely easy to mix up ghosts. Don't let anyone ever make you feel dumb or something for mixing something up, confusing 2 ghosts, not knowing the difference between this one or that one. With the amount that they've added to the game over time now, comparably to when it came out, I mean, there was how many ghosts when the first came out? There was like 9? I don't even know. I'm just completely guessing. There's 24. That's a lot. Was there 12? Okay. Were those the 12? Was it these? I don't remember. Tier 1 smudge will also slow the Rev down, but it won't slow a Moroi down. Well, no, so I think the wording of that is confusing, and I think it's misleading. The tier 1 does not slow down the Rev. What the tier 1 does is it basically blinds or stuns. So when the Revenant doesn't have line of sight or sense you, it stops flooring it and slows down. The smudge itself is not slowing it down. It's the fact that it doesn't know where you are anymore. The first 12 on the guide? Okay. Yeah, and they were very different too. The ghosts were extremely different with how they reacted to things, what they did. The Wraith used to be able to walk in salt. The Oni used to be able to do hard throws. Like, there's a lot of different things about the ghosties. The Banshee was different. All of them were different. But they've tried to accommodate. So, here we are. The evidence was also different. Yeah, I don't remember exactly which was which. Dude, there's been so many updates. I don't know. I don't remember which one was which. I'd have to go back and see. One thing I would love to do, man, I would love to be able to go back, like, whenever we feel like it, and go to the old event lobbies. So, like, the old Halloween lobbies, and the old Christmas lobbies, and the anniversary one. Just like a time capsule sort of thing, to be able to just go back and just walk around the lobby. That'd be super freaking cool. Make this room an effing time machine. Let me go back and check out all that shit. So many people never got to experience it, and they never will. And they never will. Withering, thank you for the biddies. Have you noticed how long it takes to get Goryo on dots now? Bugger no. It's just RNG. It's RNG. Sometimes I get it quickly. Sometimes it takes an entire damn round. Yeah. Snooze. Thank you for the 3 months. All right. Stream lagging or just me? It's either you or it's Twitch, because I'm not dropping any frames. Hope we get more ghosts. I would love a new ghost. I think a new ghost is what the game needs, honestly. I think a new ghost will spice it up, because it makes you have to look for that little bit extra during an investigation. Boom, boom, boom. If the Mora has line of sight, it'll be 3.71. 3.71 at max speed. Yeah, at its maximum speed. What's up, Will? Took an hour to get freezing. Yeah, freezing has been a pain in the ass. Absolutely. All right, let's go into a round to warm up. And then once we do a nice little warm up round, we'll decide if we're going to prestige on that next one or not. So let's warm up a little bit. This game is coming to PS4. Yeah, they're not gonna release newer games for older consoles. What's the challenge? Survive. No, it's new gen. It's coming to new gens. It's not coming to older consoles. Like, you're not gonna be able to play Phasmo on Xbox One. Yeah. Will, thank you for tier 3, you creeper. Thank you for the tier 3 for 2 months. Was waiting so impatiently for the stream. Hey. Be patient. Okay. Let me make sure I've got everything else set up, by the way. Hold on. Skibidi bop. Fortunately, I have an S for Cozy on the Couch games. I have a S as well. I mean, it's not for me, it's the kiddos, but we do have it. So I'll have to figure that out. Whenever console comes out, I would love to do a console stream where I actually stream from the console. I have a capture card somewhere. I just have to find it and make sure everything's working properly. Boop, boop, boop. All right. I'll put. All right, so that stays the same. That changes. Save. Okay. There we go. All right, word. All right, should be good. They're raising the price of the game too once console comes out, right? No, they've already raised the price of the game. No, that's already happened. Yeah, the game is now $19.99, I believe. Like, I'm pretty sure that happened on the... It should be. I think that happened on the 6th. It happened on the 6th. I could be wrong, but I believe so. Alrighty, we have Eric Brown, Prevent, 25, and EMF. Let's go. We're just doing a warm-up round, and then we'll look at some possible prestige stuff. Hi, She-Wolf. How are you? All right, Ghosty, where you at? Where you at? Where you be? Ah, yeah. Do I ask? Where are you? Oh, where are you? Goodbye. I don't know why I thought I heard it hunting already. It didn't start hunting until I got to this spot. That was weird. That was weird. You done? Oh my. All right. We're not going to take any sanity yet. That did drop me 50. We already have EMF 5. You think that's a glitch? Wait, what's a glitch? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. We're going to check for this. It's a feature. All right. Also need to check something real quick. Doom, 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 doom. Doo, 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 doo. I played a year, have gotten more than $12 paid for it. Can only imagine you'll have played that since the beginning. I'd gladly paid again for console. 100%. Absolutely 1,000,000% over. I mean, I would have purchased the game. I would have bought the game if it was 19, like even if it was, I would have bought the game even if it was 19.99 then. Like I definitely would have. Okay, let me see something. Because I'm not seeing these messages, and that is another. This happened last time. This happened last time. Jessica, hello. How are you? What's up, Wes? $20 is worth it. 1,000,000%. Absolutely. Give me a second. I have to double check something. I don't know why. What's up, NASA? How are you? Oh, Oklahoma. Why aren't you working? Maybe I disconnect and reconnect. Let's do that. Let's do the old turn it off, turn it back on again. Can't be a stream if there's no problems. Good. What about you? I'm good. I'm doing well. Duty calls. No, you're fine, friend. I appreciate you. Murphy, hello. There we go. Bianco, hello. Now I see it. Okay, there we go. Now we're rocking. Now we're good. Hey, Krieg, how are you? Oh, what's a bug, Nikki? All right, so it's going to hunt again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up shop here to where we can check and see if it has UV before we can go upstairs. Yeah. Hi, Nikki. What's up, Carpy? Got it at $12.99, I think, but 20 is great, long as they update. Right. Yep, 100%. Amen. As long as they continue to update, yes. Agreed. Absolutely. Okay. Well, I'll just bring these into the door. Yes, well, hello. This is not a demon yet. So these... Oh, hey, how are you? So these are the ghosties that we have. This will also let us know if it's a wraith. If it teleports to me and hunts me, I'm going to be a little bit sad. A little bit sad. All right. Orbs or dots? Okay. Forgot I haven't even turned the power on yet. Yeah, it sped up with electronics and it went back to normal speed when it went back upstairs. So that's absolutely a Raiju. Yeah, no questions. But I need Crucifix in 25. Oh, I'm about to treat this like a no sanity run. Because we could probably do all this. It's so spicy. You, get you. This for light. What evidence right now? EMF. That's it. EMF is all we have. Right, that's a 6 stack. Don't let me forget that. Tis a 6. Now, it did run at me, which was freaking what the... It came right to me, which I don't understand. Careful, SpongeBob. Gustav, hello. Thank you, friend. That's a 6 stack, don't forget. Thanks. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. Yeah, we're playing on Nightmare for a warm-up round. We're going to be doing Prestige today. I'm just trying to figure out when I want to do it. How's the ghosty hunting? Good, we just started. All right, we're going to wait until you're done hunting to get those photos. I think that works. Yeah. Daisy, hello. Honey Heart, hello. You bet the second evidence is orbs? Could be. I don't know. It's really hard to say. All right, I think we're good. Make sure I get these smoogies. Run. Let's go check for power. Okay, juice. Hiding? Danica, thank you, friendo. Check. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. Hey, Manny, hello. What's up, Daz? All right. Was it still hunting? Whoa. I couldn't hear it. Give me you. Give. That should be good. Okay, one more. So what I can do, I'll wait for the hunt again, and then I'll take the crucifixes upstairs. We need to hear where it's coming from. My game settings and Discord. It's just Nightmare. Yeah, there's nothing crazy about it. Thank you for all the follows, by the way. Lethal Kitty. Why? You changed your name. We didn't change your name. It's a new account. What happened? Nowhere to bone. I could do Ouija, actually. Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea, actually. I like you. We might as well. No point in taking a picture of it. Now we don't have to worry about the camera. I dig. I dig. Should I ask the Ouija board? Take some sanity and ask the Ouija board? Or do we go find it ourselves? Yeah, F it. It's gonna hunt the second I do this. Well, no. I don't want to do that. We needed to eat a crucifix. I gotta wait. I've gotta wait. Couldn't change my name in the previous account. Oh, I got you. Oh, well, damn, that's stupid. What ghost are we dealing with? It's a Raiju. Can you hold the crucifix as you go upstairs? Yeah. I wasn't talking. You seen it. I was not talking at all. Why did it come directly to me? All right, where are you at, you butthole? Is it hallway or is it here? I think it's hallway. Technically. shower. It is taking a shower. Hey, don't kill me or nothing, right? Thanks. Might as well check while we're... Gee! Can you hold the door? Oh, you mean what? Hold the door. I mean, there's tons of bugs right now with the doors. Tons of bugs. There we go. Spicy. Hi, Charlene. Multiple Charlene. Purple, the red. This one. There we go. All right, now we can do this because we don't need it to hunt anymore. Wait for that. Give it a second, and then we can go and find the bug. I don't care about the evidence. It's a Raichu. There's no questions. No questions asked. How do you read through? Surely there's actually ways of having applications that allow you to combine. So I found a way to do it where it would combine all of them into one. Yeah. Yeah. Bennett, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So, trying different stuff. Difficulty's nightmare. Yeah. Give it a second. Wait for our sanity to increase. It's probably good enough. Now let's go find the bone. Flashlight. I could ask the board, but I don't feel like I need to. Okay. Ask the board. Okay, give me a second. I'll go ask the board.
Welcome back.
Tried the pickle question on the board so many times, it never works for me. It never works for me either. Yeah, it doesn't work for me either. I gotta ask Baron. That was smooth. It would be funny if you found the bone and then when you ask the board, where is the bone? And it, I don't know, if it just explodes or something. Nice. Okay. Is there anything with tier 3 that I want to do right now that I can't do once I prestige? That's the real question. You know, the channel helped me so much with strategy in the last week. Just want to say thanks, Sibo. That's awesome, dude. I'm so glad I can help at all. Hi, Spicy Pam. Is there anything Apocalypse 3 tier 3 challenge? No. 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 I can't think of anything. The video that popped up for me that I haven't, well, I guess it was of mine that I haven't seen in a while, was doing the found footage challenge where you turn on night vision and you use it the entire game. Is it on now? Well, I would like to think so, Ninja. Yeah. Random items. Yeah, random items could be a possibility. Yeah. Just need some basic strats. You're welcome to ask any questions, Noah. Don't ever be afraid to ask, because there's a lot of people here that are educated in the Phasmos that could probably help, especially if it's, you know, if I can't answer it, I'm sure somebody else can. Do the found footage? Could. It's been like, I haven't done it for like a year. Demon achievement. This demon achievement? Thanks, Maja. I can't do it twice, if that's what you're asking. But you got to do it again. So, literally play the game over and over and over and over again for a demon to hunt me within a minute with 0 reward. As not tempting as that sounds, that's going to have to be a no for me, dog. Hi, Lizard. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. It's its own reward. Yeah, we're not going to take suggestions from you anymore. Yeah, that's fine. A sense of pride and accomplishment. You did it again, and you got nothing for it. Have a lovely day. Well, Ninja, I bet if you would have Googled, hey, Phasmophobia crucifix, it would have probably given you a really good description, better than I ever could. So if you've been waiting this entire time for me to give you a description of what the crucifix does, you've been waiting for nothing, friend. Yeah. A quick Google would have solved your problem. Google it. Hey, Curly, I'm good. Daisy. Oh, hey, how are you? Okay, so I don't want to do random items because that's just annoying. Having to go through and reset all the items and do all that jazz, that's just, nah, I'm good. I think, honestly, we might just go ahead and prestige. Photo randomizer, Let's do found footage on Point Hope. How about that? Let's do a found footage run on Point Hope and see how well we do. Still in the mayor only challenge? Yeah. If Sarash gets a ghost that's not a mayor, just quits. Just leaves. Hey, PJ. All right. So let me make sure I've actually got night vision on. Okay. And let's do it. Point Hope. What is found footage? So the found footage challenge, we've done it a couple different ways. We've done it where you can zoom in on the camera and you see the screen, but we had a better way of doing it the last time, in my opinion, where you turn on the night vision and you can't turn it off. You have to leave it on the entire time. So ghost is hunting, doesn't matter. I can't turn it off. Can't turn it off. I have to leave it on. So we're going to try that now on Point Hope, which is really hard to hear some footsteps sometimes, and see how we do. Yeah. Pie to the face? Oh, pie to the face isn't going to be for... Wait, when is pie to the face? Hold on. Hold on. Where's pie to the face? Yeah, pie to the face. We're 3 steps away from that one. Oh, yeah. Time for some eye bleeding good times. I'll turn the brightness down if it'll help. Yeah. I'll try to turn the brightness down if it'll help. Yeah. When you prestige... So when you prestige and you are above level 100, because when you become level 100, you can prestige. Any level that you get thereafter means nothing if you're going to prestige. So I could get to level 572. It doesn't matter. 472 of those levels mean nothing. It's up to you if you want to prestige or not. You don't have to. You can go to level 9,999. That's fine. But it's up to you. It's up to you. Right. I want to unlock the cards, and it's in my opinion, it's entertaining for me to go back to the beginning and start fresh and do it again and get back up to tier 3. Not everybody's going to feel that way. Right now, do I feel like there's enough stuff in the game to warrant you doing it because of reward? No. Next one is play with viewers again. Correct. That is the next. Correct. Hi, Ms. V. Jay Crafter, welcome in. All right, let's go. Found footage. I'll have to adjust the brightness so that way nobody blows their eyeballs out. How many prestiges are you close to? I think I'm about to be prestige 13, so 7 away. Yeah. All right, let's turn this down a skosh. Brightness. I always have it up here so you guys can see better, but with night vision on, I don't want it to be blinding when we get to lit areas. Whatever, it's close enough. First time catching the stream. Love the videos. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you. Max prestige is 20. 20. Okay. It is found footage time. So I'm going to turn on the night vision and we are not turning it off. Now we can collectively say if we want to that we can turn it off when we get to the truck. So that way you guys don't go blind. Because if I turn it on in the truck, this is what we see. So maybe it is a found footage has to be on all the time when in the map. when in the map. So when we leave the building, I can turn it off. It's not that bad? Okay, roger that. When in the map. I think so too. When I leave the house, turn it off for my own sake. Yep. Yep. You asked for this. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it not that bad? Huh? All right. Well, oh God, sorry. That was such a habit. Okay. Let's take UV, EMF, thermo, and we got this guy. What's our objectives? We have Kate Phillips. Well, here, I mean, I could do that. I can look at that from here. It's still gonna be a little blinding out here, but it's fine. Yeah, I'll look at the ground. I'll look at the ground. All right. We have Kate Phillips. Witness a ghost event, parabolic microphone, and escape. This should be fun. Okay, locked. Really, I should have a smudge on me at all times. But we are where we are. The reason I'm going to worry about power is because it warms up the building. That's why power matters. What do you think you're going to do for case 10K? I don't know. That's a fantastic question. Still got a while, but I mean, it's not that far away. Not that far away. Let's go find the power. The power can't be above a certain height anymore. Apocalypse 3 on Sunny Meadows. Good. Did I just pass the power? I wasn't even paying attention. I was looking for EMF stuff. Wait, where? Did I pass it down there? It was in the kitchen. Oh, geez. Wasn't even paying attention. Thank you. Papa Smurf! Hello, Fred. How the heck are we doing, Papa? I've heard nothing from Ghosty. I've heard nothing. No, Charlene, you're good. You are perfectly fine. Play sausage in the hole. Play early before stuff happens. Hey, Gabby. Thank you, friend. There we go. Fancy! Thank you for the 4 months. Hello. Linkin Park. Yeah, they announced their new lead singer. Yep. They did. She's got a pretty rad freaking voice. All right, ready? Line it up. Like there. I need to like find a spot that will like give me money every time. Let's go like, that might be too much. Let's try there. No, one up. Go. Sausage in the hole. If you don't know how to play sausage in the hole, you go grab a sausage from the kitchen, you stand on the other side of the table, and then you try to make it in the hole. Sausage in the hole. Mid? No, I didn't ask you what your gameplay was like. I said we're doing sausage in the hole. Yeah. Can we check on Bruce? Absolutely. Instructions unclear now in the ER. I mean, at least you'd be safe. Right, Bruce? Oh. What the hell was that? Is that the bone? But okay. Yep. That makes sense. Weird laugh. You heard that too? Okay. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only person that heard that. Can I get... Oh, no. Turn sideways. There we go. That works. All right. Well, we found it. Down we go. Bruce, you're coming to whiff. Easy bone. Easy bone. Mariah, hello. How are you? Yeah, man. The other shark looks like a Billy. I don't think we ever actually named it. Mallory, it's too spooky? No. It's fine. This isn't even us playing. It's the found footage. We're just watching a video at this point. All right. So, Bruce, you're coming with. Scared. Okay, there you go. Homie's hanging out. We're good to go. It's upstairs. Let's go. What mic to use? It's a Shure SM7B. Well, I have to take that because I need to check for orbs, so we don't have a choice. Look at our sanity. Jeez. Okay. I'm gonna take you, and you. May the Bruce be with you. All right, this won't be too bad. As long, because if I do that, this is going to be tough because I have to do this to see it. It's a little bright, but it's fine. It's fine. Hey, Joshua, how are you? My eyes. Is there any ghosts you can know from the truck? Yeah, there's many. If you are playing a no evidence run and you see orbs before you even enter the map on some of those larger maps, it's a mimic. You can leave. Outside staircase would be nice. Yeah, they would never do it though. They would never. Think about it. That's fine. If they made an outside staircase, that means you could get to most of the map. Why would it be a mimic? Because with no evidence and you have orbs, the orbs are fake because you can't have evidence, except the mimic will always have them. Yeah. All right, you're upstairs, right? Shush. All right, I see orbs. Okay. We might have freezing. Maybe. Actually, let's do... No, that'll work. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Three degrees. I swear ghosts are always at the damn top. I know. I feel that. I feel that on a personal level because it does feel like they're up here all the time. Orbit, how are you? We might have freezing. I don't know. I do see breath, but that doesn't mean it's freezing. So. No, thank you. There we go. All right, back down we go. Back down we go. Nikki, I don't know if I would be admitting to an official creator of Phasmo that you cheat the game. Just probably not a smart thing to do, you know. Just fun fact. Trying to get you to smoke. Oh, it's trying to get me to light a cig. I get it. I get it. No, they're not. It's not even about bragging about not playing the game. They brag that they have a cheat that lets them be whatever prestige and level that they want. Wow, that's so cool. Wow. I heard they give medals for that. Misfire, how are you? Alrighty. Well, I feel like if I'm going to look at this, I have to look through this. It feels like the only fair way to do this. Because it's not very found footage of me to look at this without it. So I'm sorry. Actually, wait. Here, let me turn the brightness down as far as it'll go. I don't know if that really helped. Well, where are you going? Saints did. There we go. Cheat yourself out of a game you spend time playing that seems... Well, to cheat in a game where you're trying to get better at it. You're trying to get better at it, so you cheat to have unlimited levels and whatever. Like, there's literally no benefit. It's just a really stupid thing to do. Very dumb. But anywho. Do I keep seeing dots? What is that? What is this light glitching that I keep seeing? What is this? Stuff of Gorio, maybe? Maybe. Except not. Because we have orbs and dots. It can't be a Gorio. It literally can't be. Thank you, Doctor. All right. We'll bring you. We're going to bring you. We're going to bring... maybe not this. Wait, no, I do have a UV up there. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Annoying mimic. Can't be. No, it can't be. We have dots, so it literally can't be a mimic. It can't, it shan't, it won't. So no evidence on big maps it'll always be a mimic. No. That's not what that means. Unless you're asking about the orbs. The reason I said big maps is because the big maps is the only time that you can do a camera check through some of the rooms that would have orbs. You can't do it on like Tanglewood or Grafton or any of those because the only camera you have is outside. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help. The orbs, yeah. Yeah. Nad, hello. How are you? How it be? Alyssa, hey, how are you? Travel all the way back up. Hi, Minnie. I swear Ghost Pick isn't random. It does definitely feel like the ghosties that we get are like the same ghosts often. Oh. All right, well, it literally can't be writing. Literally can't be. Okay. I see no footsies. Where are you? Are you near?
From behind.
Oh, yeah? Oh. It's a yokai. Hey, are you a yokai? Are you a yokai? Hello? Ghosty? I know you can hear me, you piece of crap. Check, check, check. Yeah, I know you can. Hey, are you a yokai? Hey! Hello? Show the dots up here again. Hold on. Where are you? Are you near?
Slips away.
Slips away. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you?
Slips away.
Are you close? Where are you? Are you near? Are you far? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you far? Did you leave this room, you piece of crap? The pickle question's not going to do anything on the frickin' spirit bugs. That's not going to be helpful. Where are you? Are you near? Shot yokai, yeah. That's enough. Where are you? Stop calling yokai names. It also has feelings. Yeah, dead feelings. Hey, nerd! Kate Phillips, where are you? Are you near? Are you close?
Slips away.
Where are you?
Just take it.
Are you near?
From behind.
No, thank you. Where are you?
Far from
Are you near?
close to.
You're a crappy yokai. Where are you? Oh, wow. You're so cool. Where the hell are you? Dude, whatever. F you. You also noticed I couldn't hear the EMF until we left that floor. Dead feelings was personal. Yeah, Spaghetti. We got the ghosty. We know it's a yokai. It's just, it's not doing yokai things. That's all. It's being a nerd. All right, that's enough. I got married to that song. What if it's a super yokai? Super boring yokai. Super boring. It wasn't doing anything. Here, listen to the drip for a second. Listen to le drip. Listen to le drip. Do 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 do. What's up, Miles? How are you? You wanted an answer. Answer about what? Hello, Mr. Song. That Hilo. That's right. Good. Welcome in. Parabolic event and escape. Well, listen, dude. I don't know if Ghosty's going to allow for this to happen. Oh, you're spamming the question. If I could be a Phas Ghost IRL, what would it be? Because you desperately need to know the answer? Yeah? I'll let you think about it. We need parabolic. Escape. Our sanity is at... It never hunted us and our sanity is at 36. It's at 36 and it has not hunted us yet. Well, I don't... I have to escape it anyway. Yeah, F it. Let's just get some smudges and go back up. Let's rock. Is there a new weekly tomorrow? Yes. Yes, there is. There certainly is. Thank you, Murphy. Shade? No, it's a yokai. We have dots. We have all the evidence. It can't be anything else. Literally can't be. But it's just not ghosty-ing. You had trouble with this weekly? I post every single one of them. Ads. Yeah, I couldn't stop it in the middle of one of these. Are you hunting right now? Okay, now it's hunting. This is dicey. Hey, Cactus. We are doing a found footage challenge where I cannot turn off my night vision at any point while in the map. Dude, it didn't hunt until we were like... That's annoying. Until we were until our sanity was like 35, 38. I saw it up there. I saw the dots. Did it walk in salt? It's hyping itself up. Oh, shit. What the? There we go. Got a whisper. Why is it not coming downstairs? Stoop kid's afraid to leave the stoop. Okay. It's a joke. Damn. She took it personally. Okay. Because it smells me. Thank you, Alyssa. All right, I need you to shut up. I need you to event. Where are you? Are you near? That's double bitten, yes? I forgot how stairs worked. No, I heard him walking on the other ones. Hey, can you event? Please? Hello? Phasmophobia, hello, dude. Ghost, hello. Ghosty, hello. All right. Show me what you got. I like what you got. Well, since we don't need a hunt anymore, I'm just gonna go take sanity. Find a bone. I did. It was a jawbone in the floor directly below it. So luckily we don't even have to look. Yeah, Ninja, if you go to the Phas wiki, you're going to get faster responses and better quality descriptions on what each of those things do. Like, what is a crucifix for? What does the tier 2 thermometer do? What is a smudge? How does this do this? How does that do that? Yeah, it'll describe all of it for you. And then you can pick it apart and learn at your own pace. What you up to? We're doing a found footage challenge where I can't turn off my night vision. How many times did the ghost hunt? Technically, this is probably number 5. We had 2 cruci bites, so it tried to hunt. And then I watched it hunt twice, and this is the 3rd, I believe. Yeah. When I first saw what bones could look like, since I last saw them, became increasingly concerned that a spine is randomly on a floor. No, that makes sense. No, that makes perfect sense. Gamer Wolf! Holy moly! Strange how the talking so much. Doing nothing. Right, the yokai did not hunt with us talking near it. Correct. Absolutely correct. Gamer Wolf. You maniac. Thank you for the subs, dude. Jeez. Hi, Chris. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Gamer Wolf, you psycho. Hi. A yokai would hunt so many times if I read. Look, why can't I say one thing to it and have it hunt? No. Bruce, this pisses me off. Oh, friendo, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Our sanity's at 2%. I don't know if this is going to be that great. It'll get us at least above 60-ish. Yeah, okay. I'm not that worried about a perfect game because the level's not going to do anything for us. I just want to complete all the objectives. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Oh, I have 1 smudge. Was there more smudges in there? Thank you, Kirsty. Space, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you for the prime. Welcome. What evidence do we have? It's a yokai. Yeah, we don't even have to look for anything else. It's 100% a yokai. All right, I don't need 3. We're going to take this with us. Welcome back, Miles. What are the odds that the ghost didn't give you any event? I mean, the longer you spend near a ghost, the better the chances are that an event's going to happen. But obviously you need to watch out for your sanity and everything else. So what I could do is I could go stand in the room with the light on. It'll retain our sanity and we just wait for the event. And then make sure that my voice is not talking through the thing. That way the ghost doesn't hunt us. Because a yokai is supposed to be able to hunt you anywhere below 80% sanity or 80 sanity. However, this one has decided, nah. Like when you're talking to it. When you talk to the ghost, you can trigger a hunt. I'm at work trying to listen while I work. What's up, Jameson? Juliana, hello. It's a gamer yokai. It never leaves its room. Facts. Facts. Gamer Wolf, thank you so much for all the subs. Oh, hello, Granny. You piece of crap. Oh, wait. You can't hear me, right? Check, check, check. Okay, we're good. I say go mayor and leave. Yeah. Hey, hey. Blew my lantern out and ran away. Excuse you. Okay. What's it like? I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Granny's sad you don't like her cookies. Well, listen. Granny, I love your cookies. They're delish. If she doesn't want me here, she can event on... Love you. It's a yokai cactus. She really doesn't want us here. You know what? We're bringing Bruce's brother, who we never named. Asking ye shall receive. All right. Let's head back. Wayne. Wayne's a pretty good name. Bruce and Wayne. I like it. It's pretty good. Hey, Ultra, how are you? Love the content. I appreciate it. Thank you, friend. Finn, I get it. Took it long enough, right? But see, when I hear Wayne, though, I think of Wayne's World. That's where my mind goes. Okay, that's enough. Alrighty. Got all the objectives. We're not worried about it perfect on this one. We just wanted to successfully have our night vision on the entire time while in the map. And we ditzed. We ditzed. Here, I'll even go out with the night vision on. No, we still haven't named it. It's still shark number 2.
Welcome back.
Yokai
Ready for you.
that never decided to hunt while we talked to it. So it was a jerk, but you know, we got it done, and that's what really matters. So that's fine. It's fine. Frank is already a name. Yeah, Frank is already a name. We can't use that again. Bruce and Wayne, best duo. Well, friends, I think it's prestige time.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
It's time. 'Tis time. Here, let me edit my card to remove that on there. Go to there. That way the prestige will look fresh. Bruce and Juice. I don't know how to feel about that. What's the name of the little fish that's next to Bruce in Finding Nemo? Oh, I don't know. Grandfather's name is Wayne. Got a Wayne's World hat. He never watched the movie. Hey, let's go. Back to baby items. Yeah, back to baby items. All right, it is now time for us to reach Prestige 13. I went a few levels over because I wanted to make sure that we had items and stuff when I was doing a viewer day, but we are here now, so let's do it. There is our new card. This is the animated one from the earlier Prestiges. So the first 10 Prestiges, you get those cards. The next 10 are the animated versions of those. So let's do the thing.
The third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. Third time's a charm. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool card. I do like it. Camp Woodwind after I prestige? No. No, not really. I need to decide where I want to play, though, for the first one. What are the requirements to prestige? You have to be level 100. How do you screenshot? On a PC? F12? Yeah. Can I play Don't Scream one time? Maybe, because I've never played it. How long does it take to get to level 100? It is very dependent on how you play. Some people are being very grindy, and they're doing, like, high multiplier, like Camp Woodwind, Tanglewood, whatever, for entire prestiges over and over and over and over again, which is fine. Hey, man, you play the way you want to play. But they're obviously going to prestige way faster than other people. Yeah. Thank you, Alyssa. Charlie, welcome in. First map everyone plays? I don't know. I don't remember what maps I played last for the prestiges. I don't remember, because every time we prestige, we do our level 1 game, but I don't remember what we did. Solo player? I do both. Yeah. Oh, hey, how are you? Mayor only. Shut up, Siraj. What's the fastest way to level up? Do very high multiplier games. Very high multiplier games. Perfect game, that's up to you. If I would do a non-perfect game and a perfect game at the same map, look at the difference in money XP and decide whether it's worth it to spend the time doing the perfect game. Yeah. Let's go to... I don't remember where I went to on my last few prestige games. Let me take a peek real quick. Not prison. Listen, I don't want it to be a nightmare for people. Usually not worth it in terms of XP. Yeah, it's cool, but really the payout for the perfect game, you could probably get another game in that amount of time. Random, no for the best. If I do random, I'm getting high school. No. I know better than that. I know better than that. Let's see. Boo, 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 boo. All right, I did the last one we did at Point Hope. Okay. What did I do before that? So I had Point Hope. Was that Willow? Yeah, there's Willow. That's Grafton. Maybe I do Bleasdale. Maybe I do a tier 1 at Bleasy. Tangle, I feel like we did not that long ago. But Bleasdale, I don't know if we've done a prestige run at Bleasdale. Yeah. No, random's an awful idea. Random means I'm going to high school. I would much rather not. Thank you guys for all the follows, man. Welcome in, Dale. Appreciate you. Element, Raising Chain, Bolton, Axel, Jerka. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hey, how are you? My goodness. And Little, thank you so much for the tier 1 for 3 months. And Natty, thank you for the Prime for 4. Easy Bleasy Beautiful. That's right. For our Prestige 13 level 1 game, we are going to do this at Bleasdale. Bleasdale. So it's a really good representation of what it feels like as a brand new player going in, and you have no items, no protection of any kind, and you try to survive. So it's a little different because we're playing it on pro. We're not playing it on amateur or intermediate, but still it gives you a good idea of maybe tactics you can use, get away from the ghost, hide. Maybe there's some natural hiding spaces and there's not some like blocked hiding spaces, but let's go find out how this run's going to go. We have no crucifixes. We have no smudges.
All right, we're here. Take a look at the equipment
This
and prepare accordingly
this is what we
before
have.
the investigation.
This is what we have.
Whoever was here must have summoned
The most bare bones of all the bare bones.
Investigate it.
The benefit of not adding anything is that you don't lose anything. That is a perk, I guess. But we do be broke. I cannot take photos. Nope. There has been only one prestige game where I've been able to take photos, and it was the only time that you could do a new prestige level 1 perfect game, and it was during the Easter event when you could pick up a photo camera from the porch. That was the only time. That was the only time. Yeah. Thank you for the gifted memberships, friendo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't see who did it, but thank you. Easter event? Yeah, it was the only time. I don't think we're ever going to be able to get it again. Yeah. Not that I'm aware of. What do we have, Trisha Bailey? So we have witness a ghost event, 25%, and escape. We can technically do all those. Escape could be rough depending on where the ghost is and what ghost it is. Because if it is a ghosty that is normal speed and maybe is coming from upstairs, we could probably escape. But again, I don't have smudges. I don't have crucifixes. We have no protection of any kind. So we have to hope that this ghost is not an early hunter. If it is, F. So we have no juice here. Because we have no protection, we're going to play a little smart. And we're going to go around the outside here to go check and see if the power box is in this back room. Because if I go through the house, I'm losing sanity, obviously, and we can't replenish. So let's go through here. Hope for a DO. Hey, that'd be great. I would not be upset. I would not be upset. It's in the attic. Good times. Arthur, such a homie, dude. Thank you so much. We don't want it to be easy. Oh, of course you're hit. You're freaking blocked. Damn it. Let's go get the juice. Look for a bone on our way. Don't see anything yet. Wait. I'm sorry. Am I drunk? Was it there in the foyer, but I couldn't see it because of distance? Also, oh, did it turn the water off? Oh. Okay. You're either in the hallway or you're there. Okay. Let's go back to the first floor. Drinking on the job. I got to get through this, man. Okay. Wait. Was it over there and I didn't see it? What the I'm not paying attention at all. Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. How do you find it so easy to find the ghost room? Well, my sound is up very high. Look. This is how I looked, and that's why. It's because I didn't see that line there, and I thought that it wasn't in here. That's why. Thank you, Charlie. It's because the tier 1 flashlight is such crap. I thought that it really wasn't there. Dang it. So fun fact, make sure you actually pay attention. What is my sound at? It's cranked. The percentage level is not going to mean anything to you because yours is going to be different than mine. Yeah. All right. Well, we know where the ghost is. We've got the juice. Entrance demon is a good chance. Ay, ay, ay. Get this guy. We'll get you. Tier 1 dots is actually not that bad anymore. It's really not. Our sanity's at 91. This is an EMF 5 because it is it's one of two things. The likelihood of it being an EMF 5 is very high. The likelihood of this being a poltergeist that I'm staring at right now is low, but not impossible. So when you get a jump of 4 or 5 that goes straight up like this and then comes back down, EMF 5. But it could be a polty that did a throw that threw multiple things at the same time and it looked like an EMF 5. So when someone tells you you can't use this chart to read for EMF 5 anymore, that's a lie. You absolutely can. So we're either going to have EMF 5 or a polty. So polty. Spirit box, ultraviolet, ghost writing. Oh wait, we have EMF. Wait, why did I mark EMF 5? Okay. Or did I just mark it because of that? I marked it because of that. No, yeah, we're fine. Because of that. I made a mistake. I don't want to mark it because of that. I want to make sure that it's not a polty. So getting EMF 5 would be great. Put you there. Can I place you? No, that's right. I can't put you on the sink. There we go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, EMF 2. Let's check for freezies real quick. Tub dots. It's a really good place for it. It's a really, really good place for it. Well, Arthur, I also don't want people begging for it. It's just, that's a no-no. Taking too long. All right. Let's turn you off. Nothing? Let's go get more stuff. Let's go get more. The sink would be nice, but no, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Andy! Welcome, welcome. If you're a mod, you're not giving the streamer crap, or are you modding, right? No, probably not. All right, we have everything we need. We're at 85 sanity, so we think we have EMF 5, but we're not 100% on that yet. We dothn't know. I also don't know what the cursed is. Dang. Kind of hoping for the paw. Hey, Ghosty, any phalanges? Where are you? Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Wait a minute. Is that happening in here or outside? It's not Frank. It has to be in there. Daffodil, shiver me timbers. Hey. Still no 5. Put some stuff on the floor. That way we can see what's going on. Still no orbs. Okay. Cold temps. Not freezing yet still. Hasn't touched door, hasn't touched a window. Up, ghost fart inbound. This could be dangerous. This could be bad. Thought you saw an Orby? You did. Good eye. This is what we think we have. So, I haven't been able to check for this. That's a problem. It hasn't touched any doors. It'll be fine. I don't know if it will be. What's your name? Trisha Bailey. Trisha. Trisha. What if I do... Hold on. I'm dead. That's a Raiju. Okay. Oh. Oh. I had no sprint. I thought I was a goner. Oh my word. Let's go hope that we have a view with the camera and we see dots. I did. That was a little close. A little bit. Oh, hey, I should have gotten the escape. Hey, let's go. All right, there we go. What map? This is Bleasdale. Bleasdale. Try to catch as many lives as I can. Time difference is a problem. Yeah. Sundays are a lot better for many, especially that are not from the States, just because my normal days, Monday through Friday, are so late. So I totally understand. Come on, Ghost, give us the doots. Come on. What exactly defines escape the ghost? Well, the ghost needs to see you and then you live to tell the tale. That's escaping. We know that this is a Raiju. We know that it is. But there's a thing here, though. Technically, I have not gotten EMF 5 via the EMF reader. I've gotten EMF 5 by watching this multiple times over. And you heard its speed from inside of that room. So, EMF 5 orbs, Obake, Raiju. Raiju is the only one of those two that can be that fast on a ghost that is 100% ghost speed. So right now, I think it's just being extremely stingy and not giving us dots. That's what I think. Tis what I think. Alyssa, thank you, Fredo. We were just talking about this earlier. About the RNG of sometimes it gives you what you need immediately and sometimes it just takes forever. Sometimes forever. You feel like it's a mimic? If I have EMF 5, it can't be. Wasn't it fast even without electronics? It never got away from the electronics. And there she is. So now you know that it's not a mimic, 100%. So if you have dots and orbs, let's not even think about this. Which of these ghosts are that fast? So it's not you, it's not you, it's not you. Technically, it could be a Thay, but I don't think I would have lived from a Thay. I've also spent time near it. So I feel like I would have aged it. We need to go in so I can lower my sanity. But I think we have a Raiju. Oh, now we just want to show all the dots. All right. Yeah. It probably hunted. I think it hunted early because of electronics. I was like, wait a minute. Never mind, we're fine. Never mind, we're fine. Jace, hello. It's crawling. Yeah, it's a crawler. It's a crawler. Oh, you shut the power off. Hiding? Yahtzee. Now we're just draining our sanity. I could... Oh, ew, it's cards. Never mind. What's the threshold for Raiju? 60 or 65? The early hunt is 65. Yeah. Fate! Come downstairs, you turd. $23 months. Hello, friend. Which one still gets you even when you're hiding? That's a Dio. No, this is an awful idea. We're not doing this. If I need to drop sanity, that's the worst idea ever. Why? Because if I get a sun card, then sanity is 100%. Flash it out of shape. This is facts. Hey, Mel, thank you for the prime. It was fast the entire time. Correct, but it was near electronics the entire time. Do I ever play with yours? Literally play it on Friday. Just do cards? No. If you get Hangman, it goes down to 0. Does it though? Does it? Should be a Ouija? No. No, it's this. Did you find the bone? I have not. Got the light goal again. Thank you guys so much, man. Does prestiging do anything besides resetting your level? It resets all of your money too. You get a new ID card. Eventually you'll get more, you'll get cosmetics and things. I need it to leave that floor. Or when it finishes this hunt, I'll go turn the electronics off. Because I could be wrong. What if it is a thing? You know? Is it though? All right. Let's go on a bone hunt. I'm not even gonna worry about going upstairs yet. We're gonna go look for a bone hunt. It's going to be upstairs, and it's going to be in the attic or something near the ghost. Place your bets. Place your bets. Can a Thay age during a hunt? Technically, I believe it can, because I don't think it's a matter of it when it's not hunting. All right, make our way back to the front. I don't see it down here. Gonna see a hand? I don't know. I think it's going to be... There's nothing that can be helpful for us now. It's now... We want to find the bone for XP and money. That's what we want. And we need a drain % anyway. So it's fine. Pull a card you know you want to. What's funny is that I really don't. I could have turned the power on, but it's okay. You guys know peer pressure doesn't work on me, right? Oh, pull the cards. No, that's an awful idea. Come on, you know you want to. No, I really don't. Win big? There's nothing to win here. Literally, it's just a time. I wait. I get below 25. I win. Why is everyone obsessed with cards? Because they want bad things to happen. But I can do it on my own. She literally walked right to the hiding spot. I wasn't even talking when she was downstairs. There's no electronic on. You would have heard her speed up if an electronic was on. How'd she find you?
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
I don't know. Hey, I got below 25 though. Good call. You could have pulled cards. Oh, wow. That's cool. No. I did get 175 though. So that's pretty cool. How? How did she know? How did she know where I was? The Raiju wanted to be a Dio. What a bastard. Wow. Wow. What a jerk. I can't believe she found us. Well, I got to go back and redeem it. I got to go back. What's funny is that I'm now level 2. That push to talk. I wasn't even talking during the hunt. When she came downstairs, I wasn't talking. Hold on, though. I do want to check. Check. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Tommy Tom. I've been so careful about not talking when the ghost is near because I'm so fearful that my voice can be heard. She heard my breathing. I just wanted some hugs. We got to go back. I can't. No. I'm not settling for that. No. We're not walking away without a win from there. So no shot. We're going back. Let's do it again. Dang it. Hi, Tommy Tom. Ghost head cheats. Oh, no. It's no clipping. It found where I was. Who's? How are you? All right. Come on. We're speed running this one, though. We're speed running it. Escape, EMF, and 20... Okay. If I find the cursed object, we're using it. We're using it. That's it. 25 EMF escape. Let's go. 25 EMF escape. Look how fast the sky is going. Holy. Even if it's cards, I'm using them. Mirror. Do I have hiding here? This will get my 25 easy. That's a guaranteed 25 drop. Guaranteed. EMF, escape, and 25. All right. We know where you are. Found you in the back. There we go. There we go. There we go. Dragon! It's so delayed on my end, Dragon. Yeah, it is so freaking delayed. Hello, friend. Oh, my goodness gracious. You like that ghost room? I like this ghost room, too. We do have power, and it just touched that. We're going to wait. We're going to go get stuff and come back. There we go. There we go. Oh, my goodness, Dragon. Thank you so much, friend. Hi, Sparkle. We haven't decided the name yet. Let's get you. Let's get... Because now we're down 20. We're at 76. So we do got to be careful, SpongeBob. Let's get this stuff and go. Get this stuff and go. Mallory! Let's ride. Can I see the orbs from here? Yep. Okay, put that there. Phalanges. Okay. Put you there. Do this here. Turn our juice on. Nothing yet. All right. It's over there. Go get more stuff. No, that was a normal handprint. No, that was normal. Banshee Hantu Obake. Okay. Speedy round it is. I said we're flooring it through this one. That last ghost, I can't believe it walked to my hiding spot. That was so rude. So rude. Alyssa! You guys, what is happening? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Come on, just give me dots. Wait, can you be dots? Yeah, you can be a Banshee. That'd be rad. Yeah, PK. Thank you, Mayor. I'm on it. I'm on it. Done and done. All right, we're not going to wait. Let's go. Let's go. We're still at 70, so we should be okay. We should be okay. Don't ignore the poor spirit box. No, listen. I was just hoping that it would be dots so we would have what we need and we can dipsy doodle. Yeah. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? It literally... Wow, that sucks. We're really close to freezing. Hold on. I'm gonna go turn some lights on so we can see where we are. Go. Turn this on. Yep. Come on, Ghosty. Come on, Ghosty. So what do we have? No writing. No spirit box. Oh, shit. Freezing EMF and dots. If I had spirit box, it would have been a mimic, but I'm not getting it. Freezing EMF dots. My guess right now is it's going to be freezing. But it could be EMF. I'm just not seeing it. Come on. Come on. Okay. Normal. Normal. Okay. Where did I put it? Where you go? Here you are. Here. You're in the corner? Okay, give me this. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? I don't think so, man. That's a no for me, dog. You want to be freezing so badly. Through the book. No, the book's right in front of me. It's right here. I can move it a little bit, though. Oh, it's so close. Just do it. Just do it. Banshee, Hantu, Obake. We've had fingerprints every time. I have not seen it go below 1. Another singing event? Come on, bro. Come on, brah. Here. That's for you. Throw it. Give it a shrow. I think it's going to be a Banshee. But if it's a Banshee... Ultraviolet, ghost orbs, and dots. Like, really? Come on, dots. Come on. We've had 2 singing events. 2 singing events, which is definitely on brand for a Banshee. It doesn't mean it is one. You have to sing to it. Oh, to get the... Oh, shit. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do that. Alyssa, what are you doing, dude? Ghost, please just give us the evidence. Would you mind? Please? See, the thing is, though, watch it not be... Oh, still no freezing. No parabolic. No. If it hunts, we'll know if it's a Hantu or not. Let's do this instead. Let's put this in here. Let's put that in there. Let's go to the truck real quick, and then we'll come back. What are you doing today? So we prestiged. We tried the first game, which this will probably be one of the first times where I didn't get it on the first time because the ghost walked right into our hiding spot while I wasn't even talking. That's an EMF 3. Okay. It turned the camera over like a jerk. What is that? Is that it? I just saw it. Did you see it here? Did you see it here? It didn't walk in front of here, but yeah, it's there. I saw it. Wow. Yeah. That's a banshee. We have all 3 evidences. Escape in 25. Wow. Okie adokie. Well, we're going to try to get these. We're going to try. What up, Minnie? Incoming mimic. Imagine if a mimic could actually mimic evidence. That would suck so much. All right, so we're going to take the flashlight with us. We are going to go over here. Oh, the ghost is treating you. The last one was very rude. Extremely rude. Let's get some lights on. I don't remember. I'm kind of afraid to go hide in there now. This on. That's already on. Perfect. Let's turn this off because I don't want it to break the breaker. Yeah. Hey, Callie. Thank you for the follows, guys. Welcome in. Alyssa, you crazy. You crazy. So what I'm going to do, I'm not taking chances. We're going here. Even though this is blocked, that's fine. That still breaks line of sight. It can't see you there. Can be a mimic too. No, it definitely cannot. So the mirror is going to drop our sanity, and that is going to get us the hunt, and then we're going to get in line of sight, and then we're going to run. Unless it's stalking me, and then I'm in deep shiz. It's done. I was so afraid to talk because I was afraid it knows where I am. Okay. We're Gucci, run. We're Gucci, run. Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Cat, hello. How are you? Welcome, welcome. How goes it? And Cajun, thank you for the 3 months. I know how that goes. Yeah. All right. We got all the objectives. I could go find the bone, but I feel like that's just not even worth the time. I think we're just going to call the dub a dub because I can't do a perfect game anyway. Dave Belfield. But we know it's a banshee. Let's get out of here. Let us get out. Run. I hope he said hello. Welcome. How are you? Well, I hope that your stream was amazing.
Welcome back.
All banshee.
Job's ready for you.
Nice. Well, we might not have gotten it in 1, but we got it in 2. That first one was a ripoff, but this one was a redemption. So there we go. And now we have a photo camera. So now we can do perfect games. So nice. And a motion sensor. Let's go. Level 5. Rock. Never happened. I mean, I'll still show it. When I go to post that, I'll show both. I'm not going to only show this one. I'll show both. But there we go. Rad, Tad. I'm going to blow my nose. Bye, Charlene. Have a good one. Murphy, thank you. still dealing with the aftermath of allergies and sickness. Not nearly as bad. Everyone's like, yeah, not nearly as bad though. Much better now. Just still dealing with all my kids having boogers. Doing a bit of Point Hope as well. Trying to get that cool 50 badge. Oh man, it is pretty rad. It's this one that they're talking about. They are talking about the special badge for Point Hope. This guy. This one. It's pretty cool. This is still my favorite. This right here is my favorite badge. That is my favorite badge. Love it. Love it. Boogers. That's right. High Vertex. Yeah, love it. I love that it's not that difficult to get. Everybody can get it. It's animated. All that jazz. How do you get this one? So this one you get by successfully completing Point Hope, getting the ghost correct and leaving alive 50 times. So you just get it eventually. This one, you do the Easter egg on on Point Hope. The Ferryman of the Drowned Easter egg. I have a video on it if you need to see it. Yeah, it's on the tubes. But everybody can get this. If you do it correct, like if you do it in the correct sequence, you can get it in 10, 15 minutes. It's really not that hard. All right. Go back to this. Go to that. There's our new badge. Yep. Definitely do it. When you prestige, if you could keep one tier 3, what would it be? It's a great question. If I could permanently unlock a tier 3, let's say we were given like unlock tokens, Call of Duty style. If I could unlock one tier 3 thing that I would use constantly. There's some choices here. I don't think it would be night vision. I don't know if night vision would be it. Although I like night vision and it's obviously cool to have. Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Cars? Dream, hello. Thermo? Maybe. Thermo is pretty sick now. It's pretty OP now. Spear box is good. Parabolic would be cool. I don't know. EMF is handy. I'm fine with the EMF, the tier 1 though. The tier 1 EMF is not that bad. Obviously the range is lower, but it's doable. It's fine. Spirit box for the range. I would almost say flashlight. I would almost agree with that. Yeah. Because the dots, although tier 1 dots suck, they have gotten so much better. I think it was on Tom's stream. We were watching Tom and he had 2 tier 1 dots set up. It covered the entire room. It was perfectly fine. But to immediately have the tier 3 flashlight, I think that's what I would do. Yeah, I think I would go here. Yep. Because the tier 1 flashlight sucks so much. You see how hard it was for us to even recognize the breaker was down there because I didn't walk in there close enough? If I would have had this, we would have known. Crucifix is a good one too. Yeah. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we are now going to do some 10, 12 runs because we need to unlock all of our tier 1 stuff. So if we go look at the chat, we look at the shop, we can see what level we need to be to unlock everything. So the highest level tier 1 item is level 16. Once we get to level 16, we've unlocked everything. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it. That's 7.5. There's my 10.12. I have really nothing to add. I mean, the photo camera, I guess. Do I have a good loadout for this? Because they're all kind of broke. Car rules. We'll use the car rules loadout. Tier 3 flashlight looks like those illegal flashlights that can light up the whole world at night. Yeah, it kind of does. The ones you get off like TikTok shop. Yeah. Is the Easter egg tutorial you got outdated or still works? I sure hope it's not outdated. Shit, it's only a couple months old. No, it's fine. It should be perfectly fine. There's nothing that's changed about that. The only difference is, and I commented on it or I put it in the description, is that the weather really doesn't matter. The way that I did it makes it better for how it looks at the end. Yeah. Yeah. When will they update the cosmetics section? It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Still worked. Yeah, it should work. Okay. We have the photo camera. Well, I need to buy a photo camera. I need to buy you. Buy you. Photo camera, motion sensor should be good. Make sure we add them, which we did. Like that. Cool. Loadout is set. Let's go. So the 10-12 runs are no evidence, no sanity runs. All right, now that we prestige, I'll change my title too. New prestige. Levels time. 10-12X. Custom. Cool. Cool. What ghost was it? It was a Banshee. Yeah. Hey, Timothy. Very busy devs. Yeah, they're very, very busy. I know we all want content, man. Trust me, you're not alone. Good luck. Thank you. All right. We need to get to level 16. That is our goal right now. Our goal is to floor it and get to level 16.
Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the invasion.
So, motion sensor, EMF. Well, guess what? I can do both of those things. Witness a ghost event. That's by chance. I'm not worried about the photo camera right now. Hey, storyteller. I think. Oh, do I want to run straight or run over there? Oh, fuck it. You're a F you, dude. All right. Motion, EMF. We're not going to worry about the event. Move. Moving on. That's, yeah, we'll wait for the, when I go back to the lobby, we'll wait. When I go back to the lobby, we'll wait. I didn't even see that ads were playing yet. Always a Ure. Stupid door touch.
Welcome back.
But hey, that stupid door touch got us a quick 3K. It got us a quick 3K, so I'll take it. Crucifixes, parabolic. All right. Ads are playing. We're going to wait for the ads. We're waiting for the ads. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we knew it was a Ure because it slammed the front door. And there was not an event, and it was not a hunt. We know it was an event because my event thing was never marked off. That's how we knew. But also, there's a delay. When you hear the Ure do a door slam, you'll hear the door, like, you'll hear the door touch, the door will close, and then you'll hear a slam. It's really delayed. But there we go. All right, a minute left. Is the hunt over? I would like to think that it ended, yeah. Abaddon, I try to when I notice that they're there. Yeah, when I notice they're there. Thank you, Alyssa. What's up, Cassie? What am I drinking? I'm drinking orange. Orange. How was the Yoshi stream? It was very Yoshi. It was very, very Yoshi. That's for sure. Did the Yurei regain the top spot as your Oh, that's a good question. Great questions. Most deaths to a Raiju. Ooh. It must be like really close between Raiju, Demon, and Yurei. Interesting. Well, that's new. Well, that's new. Here, while we're doing the ads, I'll get the items and stuff set up. Shop. 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 We need one of you. We need one of you. Okay, go to the quick loadout. Oh, it's not there. I see. Got that one. We got that. It's so broken. I don't understand. Okay, sure. I don't get it. I don't get it. New to the content, love the YouTube videos. Learn more than other creators. I appreciate you for coming in. It's good to see you. Any streaming tips? Don't stream a game just because you think it's going to make you popular. Stream a category because you enjoy it. And it's totally, I definitely agree that I personally feel that you're going to grow faster if you find a game that you enjoy or a really specific, a niche to grow in rather than being variety. I think there's zero problems. There's zero problems with, hold on, we're back. I see no problems with being a variety creator. There's zero problems with that. You just need to understand that your growth is not going to be as fast as what you see from others. So just don't judge yourself. Don't judge yourself compared to others like that. You need to be fair to yourself. Growing in variety is hard, right? How do you grow as a variety creator when you're hopping from category to category? You create other socials to post your content. You diversify. So someone catches you on TikTok or they catch you on YouTube or somewhere else. That's our like, ooh, I like them. I like that they play different games. I go. But Twitch, especially, Twitch is a place where if you stick to a category, if you stick to a niche, you're more likely to retain your viewers because there's an expectation. People hop on because they want to see a specific thing. And there is nothing wrong with that. If somebody stops watching you for that day because you are not, because you play Phasmo normally, but that day you're not playing Phasmo, if they only like to watch Phasmo, that's okay. That's fine. That's totally okay. You can't think, well, I switched. I can't believe my viewership is not going up or retaining. I must be doing something wrong. No, it's just that your base will be there. Your base will be with you no matter what. But those viewers are there for a reason. It is okay. It's fine. Hi, Mel. So my advice to you would be make sure that whatever niche you pick a niche that you really enjoy. Why should people come and watch you stream? Yeah. But I would very highly recommend posting content elsewhere. Very highly. If you have the ability to post on vertical platforms, if you have the ability to make vertical content, you have the ability to take one clip and post it to 2 different places rather than just make long form or only make vertical or only do this. Like, I would try everything and find what you enjoy, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what inspires you, and then find the direction you want to go. TikTok is huge to blow up. Look at Queso. Yeah. Queso blew up because of TikTok. Found on YouTube first. I appreciate you. Yeah. There's people that have found me because of my VOD channel. I post every one of my streams to a VOD channel on YouTube where every one of my streams I post to YouTube. Every one of them. Why? Multiple reasons. A, I now have a database of streams. I don't have to save them on Twitch. 2, it's way better to watch a stream back on YouTube than it is to watch it back on Twitch. It is a way better experience. I think naturally we just want to watch YouTube to watch videos, and we want to watch Twitch to interact with the streamer. When you're watching a stream back on Twitch, you want to interact because you see chat, but you can't. And you just have to, you want to chime in, but you can't because it's not live. So that's why I think the YouTube videos are better. But that's also why I have chat up in the corner, so people have an idea of what the hell I'm talking about when I'm answering someone's question. And it's not just in the ether somewhere. Yeah. So I hope that answered. I hope that answered. The reason I like being in multiple places is because not everyone likes the same thing. Some people hate Twitch. Some people hate YouTube. Some people hate the talk. Some people hate all this. It allows everybody to choose their own adventure. Yeah. Yeah. So after that long spiel, let's get back into it. So we go back. Mel, how is your life going, friend? I say, how's your life? Because you're living it up right now. Family on TikTok, I appreciate you guys. No matter where you found me, man, you're here. And I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you. It's ghosting time. Oh, parabolic crucifix. And when is it ghost event? Okay, sure. Thank you, Mayor. I'm not awake. Okay, we'll talk to you when you're awake. Let us know when you're awake, and then we'll have a chat. Oh, I can actually walk him with a crucifix now. Ayo. Bruh, indeed. Yeah. I actually found you because of Reddit. Did you really? Which post? I don't post on there very often anymore. No evidence. Correct. Assuming there's a challenge. No, I prestiged. We prestiged. That's a Thay, right? That is so fast. That's got to be a Thay. It has to be. That was definitely faster than a Moroi. Holy hell. I thought I was a goner. I thought I was a goner. It's gotta be a Thay. I'm going for it. As somebody who has died multiple times to a Thay. Yeah, that's a Thay. I'll take it. Thay has no line of sight. Yeah, no line of sight speed up. Correct. Correct. But that seemed really fast. Yeah.
Welcome back. I've prepared some
Yeah.
jobs for you.
Hey, look at all that fun stuff. Hey-oh. There we go. Nice. Let's add it to our list. We still need to we need to get to level 16. Level 16, we unlock everything. No, it's not a demon because I'm on 0 sanity, 0 evidence, 10, 12 multiplier, but the ghost is 100% speed. So it's normal. It's a normal, it's like a normal investigation when it comes to that. Let's go back to the shoppy. You. I don't really need you, but I'll do that anyway. I remember when Tom used to just... Was it Tom that hated tripods? Despised tripods? Really fast for a demon? Yeah, there was no way that was a demon. What am I missing? Okay, missing you, which, okay. Here, what if I do this? Really? What the hell's going on? Evil Resident, thank you for the subs. Oh, thank you for the subs, friend. Appreciate you. Hate is a strong word, but am I wrong? Listen, there were streams dedicated to the despise of tripods. Yeah, we used to surround them with tripods. Right. See? But then they gave it a purpose. They gave it a purpose by allowing the ghost to throw the camera. That's when they finally, tripods had a reason. They had a reason to live. This is so broken. Okay, we just have to do it like this, which is so dumb. Stupid, dumb, stupid, dumb. I don't need you. Okay. I don't need to add you, or you. Okay. We should be good. All right, let's go back again. Let us go back. Mr. Chingus, hello. Hi, friendo. We are doing some leveling because we just prestige, so I'm trying to get all my tier 1 stuff unlocked.
We've arrived. Check the
Yeah.
equipment and get set up.
Have any recommendations for motion sickness settings? I can't find settings that don't make me nauseous, and it makes me sad because I have over 200 hours. You have motion sickness just from normal play, not like even VR? I would say make sure to turn head bobbing off. If you have head bobbing on, turn it off. That'll help for sure. Maybe your mouse DPI is too high. Because if your DPI is too high and you like sporadically do that, that would probably be a little bit nauseating. But if you move a little bit slower, you could try using a controller. A controller, you can't whip like that as fast. It does. It hurts you in the long run. But I mean, you see from like Tom. Tom's a controller main. And he has no problem getting away from the ghost. Most of the time. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I would suggest. That's what I would suggest. We need parabolic, witness a ghost event, and escape. I don't know if they have, I don't know if there's any screen settings or like glasses or something you can wear to help with that stuff. I don't know. I know they make those funny ones that are like road, like when you're going on road trips in the car and stuff, the glasses that have the bubbles that move in them to help you. I wonder if that would help with that. Could try. You'd look silly, but it'd be really funny. Just saying. Parabolic, witness a ghost event, and escape the ghost. Okay. So, we don't need anything else. This is basically it. Witness a ghost event, escape, and parabolic. I could also use this, but I guess there's no need just yet. I can leave this on for an electronic. F it. We'll take it with us. Oh, actually, no, I need a flashlight. No. We'll come back for you. I don't necessarily need, because I can just turn the lights on, but if it pops the breaker, we're screwed. Really? Is that a slow twin or is that a Hantu? It's a Hantu. Yeah, that seemed too slow for a twin. Yeah, that's a Hantu. Confirmed shade, get out of here. No, I knew it wasn't a twin because the speed was too different. It was too slow. Twin is 90% the normal speed. 90%, which is only a little bit slower. This was way slower. Way slower. Well, that's a Hantu. That's a Hantu. It could be a mimic. Listen, any ghost could be a mimic at any time if I don't get evidence, which we're not going to have. We have to take our chance and go for it. If it's a mimic, I get mimicked. It's fine. It's fine. Thought the Hantu was fast. A Hantu's speed is based off of the temperature of the room. So when it left its ghost room, it was no longer in a cold environment, so it was slower. And then I turned off the breaker so that way I could see its breath. The only way to see Hantu breath is by turning off the breaker. The only way. So if the house is really, really, really warm and you turn the breaker off for a second to see the breath, it's going to take the Hantu time to get faster because it takes the room time to get colder. Know what I mean? Picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah. But we've got incense. Let's go. There we go. There we go. Thank you guys for the follows. Kid, I appreciate it, man. Lady, appreciate you. Yeah. Now, wait, what level am I? Hold on. Oh, 15. We're so close. Okay. We're so close. Welcome in, bot. What do you want? Get out of here. What's up, dude? What are you doing? Ew. You're warm and gross.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Alex told me
Isabella.
he's not coming here. So what did he?
And then he came in here?
Yep.
Should we punish him? What should we do?
We should whenever
When somebody does what? Her punishment is if somebody poops in the toilet, he has to put his foot in there.
Yep.
You realize that would be a bigger problem for me. I do.
You didn't know this?
Hey, be kind to each other. Hey, 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 hey. Yes, ma'am.
Johnny.
I have not. They're daily beans. Ma'am. Hey, don't put your body weight on my desk. No, you're not. Here. To land. Thank you, sir. Thank you, children. Thank you, Murphy. All right. And an Izzy. Yeah. I'm sure Landon's still probably outside. Never see him anymore. He doesn't want to come down here. He's also really tall. He's like 5'2". We were invaded. All right. I need smoogies. Yes. 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 Okay. Headgear, we don't care. Crucifix. Salt. We have sound sensor. Whatever. I'll buy it just because. We've got 8K. We're fine. Get my kids to play. I'd rather my 6-year-old not play Phasmophobia. Yeah. It is. She did get her beans. She did. She did. All right. Incense is not added. Whoops. Sanity doesn't matter. Incense. Gonna head out. Bye, Shade. Enjoy the sun. The sun. See a PSU. The daily bean toll. That's right. I pay up. I might want to get another cruise semi-fix. I have one. Did I add it to the thing? I didn't. I did now. But the Izzy monster would not even be scared. I don't know. She is kind of a thrill seeker, though. She is kind of a thrill seeker. Once I get level 16 unlocked, I'll just add everything. Yeah. The daily bean toll. All right. Igniter. No, we need incense. There we go. There we go. They got Phasmo in their veins. I don't think that's how that works. All right, we go back. We just need one more level. One more level and we've officially unlocked everything. Photo, crucifix, and repel. All right. Photo, crucifix, and repel. You grew up with 3 brothers? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Not playing with viewers, RB. Maybe a Moroi. That might be a Moroi. Jesus Christ. I've already got your photo. I don't need another one. Okay. That's fine. I'll take it. Rather than waiting for another hunt and repelling, we're just going to do it like this. That's fine. Oh, snap. We're just going to go for it. We're going to go for a Moroi. We need to get out. We need to get out. We need to get out. He's here. He's here. It's Doc. Hi, Doc.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
How was your stream? Oh my goodness. Hi, Mr. Doc. Got our level. Get out of here, shorty. You're not doing a very good job. Hey. Admit, it's only 3:30. I'm still going. I'm still trucking, boss. Closer to 4. Hey, hey. Hold, please. Back there playing with the goose. Back there playing with the goose. Get out of here. Doc, how was your stream, my man? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How's it a Moroi? The speed. I could tell by the speed. It was a little bit slower than a Thay. We're doing 0 evidence, 0 sanity. So that's how we knew. Holding. Thank you, Relosa. Appreciate you. Loads of fun. You were playing a game yesterday. I had you up on the TV while we were just kind of chilling and hanging out. My wife was like, "What the f?" You were playing that like that side scroller like 8-bit like game where you're the murderer. And I think I tuned in when you were getting the harpoon. I believe it was the harpoon. And then taking it back to go finish the guy at the boat. And that's when I tuned in, was the harpoon going through. It was pretty funny. It was pretty fun. I was laughing just because of her. She said, "What did you put on?" I said, "It's Doc. It's Doc." Happy Hills Homicide. I might have to try that. It looked like it was actually, I mean, yes, like very evil, but hilarious. In a very evil way, I guess. Yeah. Malice, hello, welcome in. Guys, thank you for coming in with Mr. Doc. I appreciate you. If you guys have never seen me before, my name is Flash. I am a horror variety creator. I'm an official content creator for Kinetic Games and Phasmophobia. We do all the spooky things. We like to play lots of different games. Lots of Phasmo, though. Phasmo is definitely the main game for sure. And I am a part of the amazing, lovely team with Mr. Doc, the Midnight Society. So please make sure you're checking out all of our friends. But guys, if you're from my community, if you're not following Doc, you have failed for the day, and you may go trip in a puddle. I don't know. One more person who will not want me on their what do you mean? Oh, you mean my wife? Does Doc have a talk? He does, but he doesn't really post to it yet. But he does if you want to get there early before he starts. Yeah. Joke's on you, I don't go outside. Joke's on you, I installed a puddle in your house. Get f***ed. Falling right now? Good. Good, you should. Good, you should. All right, now we have all of our items. No puddles. I just got out of the shower. It's not in the shower. Oh my God. Do do boop boop. Okay. Downtown, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So we prestiged today. Yeah, I figured why not. We have the weekly coming tomorrow. I'm going to be trying Tom's all difficulty tier 1 again. So I figured there's no point in not prestiging because we're going to be getting levels with using only tier 1 anyway. I don't think today we're going to do the tier 1, obviously, but I'm probably going to do it after the weekly tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Right now, we're just getting levels then. I think right now the plan is just to get some more levels. So let us change it up a little bit. Let's go to Willers. But we have everything here. It's just all tier 1. Let's rock. But Doc, if you need to go, friend, hang out with fam, do what you need to do. I appreciate you. Always, friend. Thank you. It was fun playing games yesterday. Lockdown Protocol was hilarious. Am I going to play it again? Probably at some point. I don't know when, though. I'm not exactly sure when. It's going to be a mare. Roger that. Roger that. Yeah. Lockdown Protocol. It's... Listen, Doc is to blame for it. We all are hooked now. It's so fun. It's so fun when you play that with friends. It's hilarious. EMF Escape Repel. EMF Escape Repel. All right. We're going to come back for the EMF, but I need this so that we can live. So we can live. Doc is to blame for a lot of things. This is true, but it's not necessarily a bad thing to blame him for. Right? Oh, wait. Whoops. Like getting blamed for giving joy to others? It's not that bad. Now we wait. Also, now we know who we can trust. Well, that's not true. You think you can trust somebody and then you get taped. And it's over. Is Doc the one when you were playing at Fridge View and he Scooby-Doo walked across the screen saying FFF being chased by the ghost? He would not say FFF. Who did that? Who was that? Twin. Ew. We're not playing with viewers, Ryan. Yeah. You'll know if somebody is because they'll have it in their title. I was the guy who sounded like he was throwing up and scared of nothing. Oh, that was so good, though. That was so good. Doc and I were hanging out at Bleasdale, and we were talking downstairs. He was asking a question about something, and out of nowhere, I guess he thought the ghost was hunting, and he went, bleh, and he ran up the stairs. That was so good. Why twins? Speed. Violence, speed, momentum. We need to repel you anyway, so we're going to bring this, bring that. We'll bring another flashlight for... you know what? We'll bring this. Why do you crouch when looping? It depends on where I am. When you crouch to certain things, you can break line of sight. That's how it went down? I think so. Yeah, definitely make sure to pay attention to chat. Yeah, it looks like Song... Looks like Song did answer you. Hey! What are you doing here? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Damn kids. I think it was the slow twin again. Unfortunately. Get off my lawn or whatever. Stupid. No, kick it. No, you kick him. If it's one of the little kid ghosts, you just drop kick it. That's how it gets rid of him 9 out of 10 times. It's definitely worth. Absolutely worth. Slow twin 6 times in a row.
Welcome back.
Probably.
We had some jobs for you.
Money, 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 money. And a new flashlight. Well. Well, well, well. Whale, whale, whale. Let us upgrade. What up, Super? I'm good. How are you? Quick loadout. Flashlights. Go over here. We'll do it again. We'll go to Grafton. Go over there. Look at that. We're level 19. Moving. We're on the move.
All right, we're here.
On the move. For those of you guys that haven't tuned in today or you haven't seen it, we are getting closer and closer to our next September goal. The next September goal being another viewer day. So we're getting there. What's up, Diablo? How are you, homie? Yep. And I think we're going to do, we were talking about that earlier, is that it's going to be on a Sunday. If we get to that, we're going to do it on a Sunday. I don't know what Sunday yet. I'm not sure. I can tell you that I will not be streaming this coming Sunday or Monday because that's when I'm going away for my anniversary. So I will not be home. Yeah. How is Hot One Phasmo going to work? Hot One Phasmo is going to work by me taking the actual Hot Ones sauces and we are going to, is this recorded? Yeah. We're going to take the Hot One sauces and I'm going to do investigations. Every investigation, I eat the next hottest one. And we see how far we can go and handle. Congrats on the anniversary. Thank you. It's on Coach's birthday, but we know which one is more important here. What am I going to do for the 24-hour? Oh, no, it wouldn't just be Phasmo. If we got to a 24-hour, no. I would play a lot of things. Lots of different games. All right, let's go. Let us go. Turn off. There we go. What up, Jake? Killer, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Poor Coach. Escape, capture a photo, crucifix. Well, we're going to have that no matter what. We're going to try to escape no matter what. I could try to get a picture. You asked if it was recorded. Yeah, technically it is recorded. Because I do repost the VOD, so yeah, it is recorded. Yeah, do you go to a lot of YouTube live streams that are pre-recorded? I have no flashlight. I'm gonna get the flashlight. I can't see anything. I'm gonna go get a flashlight. Seiko, hello, how are you? We're gonna grab another smudge. We're gonna grab a salt. What exactly does the mimic mimic? The other ghosts and their abilities. It doesn't mimic evidence. Yeah, abilities, not evidence. All right. Well, we have this. We got you. We got you. I think we're good to go. Range on tier 1 is not a lot. It's holding the crucifix save you in the middle of a hunt like the crucifix. No. So the crucifix is only effective at stopping the ghost from hunting. And it has to be within range. But holding the crucifix does the exact same thing as laying it down on the ground. War Thunder, thank you for the follow. Welcome. What's up, Hawk? Hmm. Interesting. I don't see my breath. Just not having it today, Ghosty? Hello? Damn, dude. Is that a Revy? Do I need to escape? I do, but crucifix. Revenante! Although she did hunt right at the top of the stairs. I could try to get it real quick. What do I do with the crucifix? What do I do with it? I can't see it. There it is. Stupid stick. You hunted from right here. Right here. We're gonna try. Hello? Ma'am, I'm here for your photograph. Ma'am. Ma'am. All right. Revy for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Right here. We'll see if the crucifix gets her. If it doesn't get her, then we're just going to leave. I'm not about to fight for 15 to 20 minutes trying to get a crucifix bite. Not worth. Not worth it. Come on, Ghosty. What does crucifix do? It stops the ghost from hunting. Prevents it from hunting. Is there a cooldown period? It's not a cooldown. What it is that I smudge the... Well, I guess technically it is still cooldown. I smudge the ghost. So that's why it's not hunting. As for when it can event, I don't know if there is really a cooldown. It could probably hunt. I mean, it probably could event right after a hunt is over. If it wanted to. No, it's not going to eat it. F it. Whatever, it's fine. Whatevs. Death Merchant, hello. Why's your name Carrier Ant? Wait, you changed your name? So it sounds like it's hunting from the nursery. I could stick around for one more, try to get it. Because, I mean, the XP would definitely be handy. Try one more time. One more time. There's no hiding in here either. F it. F it, Jeff it. Nope. From my WoW guild name to the name I have when I played League of Legends. Oh, nice. Bye, Sam. We out. Revenante. Honors, welcome in.
Welcome back. Like prepared to
Don't like the
jump in
Cruci? It's really not a great range. If I had another crucifix up there, there's a better chance of it. I just don't feel like spending the time to do it. Nah. Nah. Ooh, that could be spicy. But let's do it anyway. Cause F. You, grab you, up. Grab you. Firelight EMF and capture a photo. EMF? We'll do both. We'll do both. Answer your question? Maybe if you ask him nicely, Ultimate. Kind of a dick thing to just be like, answer it. Alright. If Ghosty comes here... Uh-oh. I made a mistake. Oh, there it is. Oh my god, I thought I didn't have the freaking matches on me. F those shoes. My favorite small map is Willow. By far. Yeah. I know it's a Raiju because it's sped up with electronics. It was normal speed when it was away from electronics. So, okay, I just didn't get capture photo. That's fine. It blew out the firelight. Blowing out the firelight also set off the EMF, so that gave us both objectives, and we move on. How do you know there's no electronics? EMF is electronic?
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
Let's go back to Tangle.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before investigating.
That, get that.
I've got a report.
But there was no electronics. This is an electronic? So when this is on and the ghost goes past it, it will speed up if it's a Raiju? I'm confused at your confusion. Well, no. See, the response was, how do you know it's a Raiju? There's no electronics. I said, because I had an EMF in there. And the response was, but there was no electronics. I don't know how to respond to that. Probably didn't see it. Well, I mean, you could have taken my word for it when I said, hey, there's an EMF in there. Why the TV's broken? Because the 10-12 multiplier that I have, we don't have sanity and we don't have activity because we're not basing it. It's like a no evidence run on Nightmare. Yeah. It's like a no evidence run on Nightmare. All right, Nancy, we need to escape Crucifix and witness a ghost event. So let's get inside and pray. Run. The tier 1 crucifix sucks so much. The range is just woof. Woof. Do. Also eating, didn't pay full attention. Oh, well. Well, that's not helpful if you're saying something you want me to respond to. Hey, Charlene. Still live? Yeah, we've only been live for a couple hours. Hasn't been that long. When I went live at 1. So, yeah. Hadn't been that long. Ghosty no hunt. This is the second one that's done this. Song, you know you're welcome to do whatever you need to do, right? There we go. A gin. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. The point of the flashlight being on the ground right now is just because I brought the flashlight in case it shuts the power off, so I can still see. Yep. Getting lucky with all the ghosts. Well, ghosts that have something that's actually different about them. Yeah. I'm not going to complain or get upset about that for sure.
Welcome back.
Hi, Jim.
I've got some jobs ready for you.
Back to Tangle again. Go back to Tangle again. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in.
All right, we're here.
Taco, hello.
Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly.
Hello, hello, hello. How was your stream? Was it the speed for the ghost that gave it away? It was because it started to sprint when it saw me. It went from normal speed to a sprint as soon as it saw me. And it did it multiple times. That's how we knew. The Jinn definitely stands out amongst other ones. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Hope you had a good stream, friend. Needs to be more way. I don't know, man. I don't know. We have a couple things we can do, though. Taco, hello. How are you? How was Phasmo? How are the ghosties? What's the hardest ghost to guess? A Jinn when you have no evidence and a broken breaker. Because at that point, you have no way to know it's a Jinn. You're better off getting rid of the other ghosts than you are trying to figure out it's a Jinn, because you can't. Goryo at least can't change its favorite room. So over time, you would probably get that it's a Goryo. Jinn? Nothing. Got tricked by... Wait, what'd you get tricked by? I missed it. Got tricked by a shade. Oh, stinky shade. No way. Another one? Oh, the boat. It's a Jinn again. I mean, when in Rome. Frickin' Jinn again. It was a shade, but I didn't see ghost writing and got killed. Oh no. Listen, if we're gonna get a ghost over and over and over again, I'm totally fine with it not being a Goryo or something else. Fine by me. Saw the sprint that time. Yeah, a little more obvious. It's a little bit more obvious if you have a long stretch where like you hear the normal speed of the ghost like this, and then all of a sudden it gets line of sight and you hear that sprint. Yeah. Upgraded photo cam, level 26. Nice. Let's go back to Willer's. Show the Jin who's boss. My goodness. What up, Ender? How are you? You. I could try and go no flashlight this time. We need parabolics. Yeah, F it. Let's try. Could be a Hantu. I don't know. How dare you? You son of a bitch. Not a Hantu. I mean a Jin. You know what I mean. God damn it. Sorry. I was thinking I had a Hantu on my brain. This time it's not a Jin. Finished stream not too long ago. Nice. Ew, it farted. Use the ray gun on it. Oh shit. Cleanse, crucifix, parabolic. Not the ray gun. Come on, son of a bitch. All right. Get that. Hurry back. 0 for 10. Well, you are also guessing a ghost before we walk in the building. Come on, do it. What are you waiting for? Appreciate you. Now we need cleanse and crucifix. Cleanse and crucifix. Really? What just happened? What did I just miss? Was that merch? I didn't see it pop up. What happened? I just heard you. Oh, F you, ghost. It moved all the way to the living room. Never mind. It whispered sweet nothing. Someone got a hoodie. Oh, I missed it. I can't. This activity chat doesn't show that. So I need to figure out a way to incorporate it. Well, biscuits. Well, thank you for getting merch, friend. Revenante. Banshee? No. Too slow. Way too slow for a Banshee.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Nice, nice. We're now level 27. Oh, let's go back to Grafton. Go back to Grafton.
We've arrived. Check the equipment.
Hopefully it's a mimic. No, I actually don't want a mimic. A mimic would actually be the worst right now.
Violence or sighting.
Parabolic, repel, and witness. No, parabolic would not be good. I mean, not parabolic, god damn it. A mimic would not be good. Because we're going to think it's some other ghost, we're going to leave, and it's going to end up being that other stupid ghost. Yeah. Okay. Double. Yeah, I haven't had a DO yet today. Do I sound sick? I sound congested. Yeah, stuffy nose. Now we wait. How are you fast? I'm normal speed. I'm just crouched so I look like I'm going faster. Vampires. No. Oh, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better. Just congested. That's all. Oh, you mean with getting the ghost type? Oh, just experience. The more you play the game, the more you're going to know about the ghosties, the quicker you're going to be. That's all. There are certain things that stand out with these ghosts, depending on which ones you get, that make it instant. Now, could it be a mimic? Sure, but I don't think so. Or we're going to say that it's not and hope that it's not. We got a whisper, but it's not hunting. So I don't know. Nope. Normal speed? Ulti? Is that a Jin? Wait, that was so confusing. That was so confusing. Hold on, wait. It didn't feel like it slowed down. This isn't on, right? No, that's off. Okay. That was super, super confusing. At first, I thought maybe Pulte, and I'm like, no, I think it's speeding up. Okay, let's try it again. Let's try it again. It did not have line of sight on me for very long. It's a game called Phasmophobia. Come on. A cheat book for Phas? There's websites that you can use, sort of like cheat sheets, to help you with speeds of ghost evidence and all that stuff, abilities, everything. Dude, what the Jin? Okay. That was weird. That was super, super weird. Okay. Another Jin. Yes, sir. Jim. One day we will get the triple. We will get a Jin named Jim in the gym. And when that day happens, we will have completed Phasmo. But that means we have to play high school more for that to happen. And I'm not a big fan of that idea. Jim in the gym. That is correct.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Hey, Pollen. Oh, yes. And we've upgraded our dots. Although I don't know if tier 2 dots is actually better now. Jim in the gym. That's right. You had a Jin named Jennifer? I mean, it's close enough. Oh, thank you, Cashley. High school only stream for that ghost? To get that ghost in that room with that name. Yeah. The odds are not in our favor. Surely are not. I have ads coming. I'm going to go ahead and run them. I snoozed them while we were hunting because I didn't want you guys to miss. I didn't want you guys to miss. So I'm going to go ahead and run them now. We do 3 minutes every hour. So that way there's no pre-rolls. If you are not subbed, if you don't have turbo, do not worry. I'm not moving anywhere until they are done. So 3 minutes, get a snack or get a drink or take a break, take a walk. Be right back. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Can always take tier 1 and tier 2. You can't take two different tiers. You can't take two different tiers as a single player. You can only take one. So whatever I set the equipment to, that's what it is. That's what it is. How do you get player cards? What do you mean? How do you get player cards? Are you talking about ID cards? If you're talking about these, yeah, prestiging and doing events. So you can get different prestige cards based on your obviously your prestige number, but then there's also event cards. So when you do like Halloween, Christmas, Easter, those kinds of things, you can get cards. I mean, there's one you can get right now that would take you less than a half an hour. It would take you less than 10 minutes probably. And it's the Ferryman of the Drowned. So there's an Easter egg that is on Point Hope that you can get an animated card. You just have to do the Easter egg. That's it. And it doesn't take very long. There's videos on it. I have a video on it. Yeah. Nuke Dave. What up, friend? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. There's another amazing bean. Another amazing bean. Another amazing Phasmo player. Another kinetic partner. How you doing, Dave? How's the day going, brother? How's the new equipment grind coming along? Not too bad. I just prestiged not that long ago, and we're back to level 29 already. So we're rocking, but I figured I would have been a higher level, but I waited to prestige because I wanted to have tier 3 equipment for my viewer day because I didn't want people to be stuck with tier 1 crap. So I waited to prestige till today. Yeah. What level did it be to prestige? 100. Hundo. Saturn, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. How long does it take for us to see our freezing breath when we're in the ghost room the moment we enter the house? Not instantly, right? It depends on the temperature of the room. The temperature of the room to see your breath needs to be below 5 degrees. Just because you see your breath does not mean that's the ghost room. So it's more than likely, but it's not every time. Because what if you have a stalking ghost that's spending time near you? Then it's going to lower the temperature of the room you're in. And you're going to think, I'm there. And that's not how that works. So if you see your breath, there's a good chance that's where the ghost is. I would start looking for other evidence. Unless it's snowing outside. If it's snowing outside, go turn the power on and then start looking. You need to warm up the house. Yeah. Romero, hello. Vito Romero, thank you for the follow. Okay. They are donezo. They are la donezo. I need to check and see. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what time my wife is coming home. Boo, 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 boo. Watching a lot of videos about you and Faz. Finally found you. Hey, welcome in, dude. Welcome in. FNAF, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What up, brother? So it is past 4 o'clock. We have achieved new level of dots. We have gotten to level 29 now. Let's see. What are we at? To unlock all of tier 2, we need to get back up to level, what, 49? Yeah, 49. We are on the way, though. We're on the way. But I think we're going to call it there for today. I think that's going to be it. I try to end my Sundays around 4 because then the rest of my day is filled with family time and hanging out. So I will be back tomorrow for more fun. But I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for chilling with me. Appreciate you. So let us go find someone to raid. Tiki Tax, thank you for all the love, friends. I appreciate you. Thank you for chilling. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all the gifts and the likes and the shares and the follows and all that jazz. Appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 for more fun. 8:30 for more fun. But let us go find someone to raid. If you guys are not already in my Discord link is here. The rest of my socials are here. Post on YouTube, I do all that. TikTok, you name it. I'll have my next video out, which will probably be our prestige run. That'll probably be the next video. More than likely. Dave, you're a good friend. I know we're busy, man. Life happens, brother. It's good seeing you at all. Thanks for the comfy stream. Hey, always. Always, always, always. Always, always, always. All right. Let's go find somewhere to go.
Welcome back.
But yeah, I'm sure my kids are getting restless. I'm sure they're upstairs bored. Which is not my responsibility for entertaining, but still. But still. Drago, thank you for the gifted sub. Why is that not played? Hello? Is it good? Hello? What the hell's going on? I don't know why that didn't play. Okay. That's weird. I can see it in the feed, though. I see it. Drago, thank you for gifting a sub to Holly. Might have gotten messed up. I don't think so, though. They shouldn't be, because you see the follows coming through. I've got them turned back on. Here, I'll do a test. Activity feed. Boop. Oh, it's not even showing up in the activity feed. Oh, well, that would, well, in the stream elements activity feed, that would explain it. That would explain it, Lucy. Here, let me try the last one, just to make sure they play. It shouldn't play like that, but it's, yeah, it works. You broke it. Why'd you do that? Okay. It works, though. Before you go, please, could you let me know if demons can hunt? Only on Tuesdays. Yeah. I broke nothing. Get out. Only on Tuesdays, Dave. You're safe until Tuesday. You're fine. You're fine. You're good. See, there we go. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. Jake, thank you for the prime. Appreciate you, friend. Thank you. Oh, the daily sub counter is also not on, and I have no idea where that scene is. I'm not going to worry about it right now. No idea. When I had to switch back from Yoshi back to regular, I tried to make sure that everything was back the way it needed to be or should be. I got most of it, I think. So we should be okay. All right, let me go find someone. Let's go find a friend. Let us go find a friend. When is goose naming day? We do need to figure out a name for the goose. These are facts. We have not named the goose. The goose, where's the goose? The goose is back here chilling. Can you see it? It's chilling. It's hanging out. It's chilling. We do need to name the goose. Imagine having tech issues. I would never. It's not a chonky goose. It's like a normal goose. It's not chonky. What do you mean? It ain't chonky. Still miss the chonky seal the kiddo stole. Yeah, it's still up there. It's still there. It's just that Landon stole it. The new Apocalypse trophies look unreal. Aren't they awesome? I'm still trying to decide if I want my shelf to be this layout or not. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. Because right now, yeah, they're sitting behind my head. But like you can see them here. I might move them like over here and move the open sign and move that back here or something. Yeah. Because I also am going to have my plaque that has my pre-prestige level on it as well. And I'm hoping it'll fit right above and I'll find a way to hang it inside of that shelf. Skull's front and center. Yeah. Goo the goose. Oh my God. Goo. I don't know if I want to call it Goo. Is there a name with Goo in it? We can call it a goober. Goober. Goober the Goose. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. Hey, Daniel. Goober. Anyway, all right. Let us go raid. Can also put the plaque on the side of the shelving unit where we can see it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just depends on how large the plaque's going to look inside of the shelf. Yeah, Mr. Vin, hello. We will see. I'm undecided. Very undecided. Okay. Let us get the raid messages ready. Passenger, thank you for the prime. Appreciate you. Mel. Thank you for being here as always, friend. Good to see you. There's a beach yelling at me. Listen, I'm shocked that you're not there just at all times, especially because it's across the street. Grammy, hi, bye. Especially because it's across the street. I'm shocked you're not there all the time. My wife would be. Yeah, anytime if we ever go to the beach, she just wants to lay on the beach all the time. I like it. I love being at the beach. I just get bored really quickly. Who got a throne gift? What the hell just happened? I want to go to the beaches further away. Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah, experience kind of everything it has to offer. I got you. I got you. Someone did a thing. Dancer, welcome in. Good to see you. Have some donuts. Wait, what? I'm forcing Glay to go to Hana tomorrow, I think. Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, thank you, friend. Oh, get out of here. Oh, it was a Dunkin' gift card from the throne. It was a Dunkin' gift card from the throne. Well, thank you, friend. Listen, I live off of the iced coffee from Dunkin'. I live off of it. It's in my veins. It is so effing good. I never get tired of it. It is amazing. And it is my starter for the day when I can. So thank you. I appreciate that so much. At the beach yesterday. Nice. Oh, man. I forgot to tell you. Oh, God. I think I was talking to my wife about it. If we have the opportunity, we're going to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, I guess, for the September stuff. I have a suggestion of what you could force me to dress up as because it'd be really cool looking. If we just so happen to get to the chat chooses costume deal, if that happens, listen, hear me out. Beetlejuice wedding costume would be pretty sick. I'm just throwing that out there. If you want to be kind and think of something cool. I told my wife, I said, if we have a party to go to, if we need to go together as a Halloween couple, her dressed up as Lydia in the red dress and me going as Beetlejuice with like the leisure suit. That would mean being nice. That's true. I'm going to end up being a unicorn or some shit if that does happen. Yeah. That'd be so freaking cool. I was like, oh man, I was looking up costumes and stuff yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, we'll see. All in due time. All in due time. Okay. All right. We have a friendo that's playing some Phasmophobia, so we're going to go say hi. Go do Jack and Sally. Oh, that'd be cool. I don't know if she'd be, although she does like Nightmare Before Christmas. She does like that movie. She's not a big horror fan. She's not a big horror person. Normally on Halloween, we let the kiddos dress up and we just go with them. I said, as part of my monthly, I said, if we reach that, I will dress up for our trick-or-treating day and walk around as whatever the hell chat chooses. But Jack and Sally's pretty cool. I don't think we could do a family theme off of that because I don't think people would recognize some of the other characters. The kids probably wouldn't give a shit about it either. But we care. I think Jack and Sally would be cool. All right. Guys, if you are not sub, that is for you. If you are sub, that is for you. Creepy little tier 3s, we love you. That is for you. Could make the kids the trick-or-treaters. Oh, the 3 little trick-or-treaters? We could. I don't know how recognizable that would be, but yeah. That'd be kind of cool. I would recognize them. Yeah, I don't know. But guys, thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you guys so stinking much. Thank you for the subs and the bits, all the follows, so many follows today. I appreciate it so damn much. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Vin, thank you for hanging out with me yesterday. Apparently Dread is a like golf with friends main that I did not know. She's like insane. If you guys are going to play golf with friends with Dread, just don't bet money. Don't bet money and ask for advice. And I think you're in good shape. She's insanely good at it for some reason. And she like knows specifics. You guys got her into golf. So it's your problem. You guys did this. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Allison, thank you for the late follow. Thank you so much for being here. Last to place in golf. I did okay. I was at middle of the road, I'd say. I didn't top by any means, but I'd say probably middle. Yeah. Dread is a menace. She is a menace. All right. Let us go say hi to another Midnight Society teammate, the lovely Siren PM. Siren is amazing. Make sure you guys follow if you're not already following. Siren is great. Siren makes some of the best I'm scared faces that I've ever seen. So when she is genuinely terrified, it is chef's kiss. It is so good. So good. Dancer, thank you for the follow. But yes, Siren is amazing. Siren is another Midnight Society member. Make sure that you guys say hi to all the friends. Good Girl Ghost, hi, bye. But yes, we are getting closer to this, which is our next goal for the month. If we reach it, we will have another viewer day, and we will do it on a Sunday probably, but it's not going to be this upcoming Sunday. God forbid if we reach it, because I will not be here. The wife and I are going to Disney for our anniversary trip for a couple days. Not very long. It's a short trip, but still. We will have been married for 13 years. 13 years. So this is our way to get away and have our time together. So mucho excito. Mucho excito. Thank you guys. Yeah, the 16th is our actual anniversary. Yeah. But guys, you're amazing. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. You guys are the best. I love you guys. If one more time, if you're not in the Discord, if you're not following the other socials, they are there. I'll definitely have a new YouTube video out tomorrow. It'll probably be the Prestige, but you guys are awesome. I will see you then. Peace.